Today I'd like to talk to you about training your dog. Training your dog is vitally important to you and your dog having a successful relationship. If you are upset at your dog because he doesn't do what you think he should do, or your dog is upset at you because you treat him or her cruelly and unfairly, your relationship with each other is not going to be good at all. What you guys have to do is come to an agreement to what the rules are and when and how to obey those rules. Of course, you're going to take the lead in setting those rules. Don't let the dog rule you. It's exactly backwards. You'll run into many problems that way. What I'd like to do in this video is talk about some of the pre-training basics first. That is, things you need to know before you even train. Things you need to be aware of before you even start training. And so we'll go through a few of these today, these pre-training basics. Then I'm going to go and talk about how to housebreak your pet, some tips that'll help housebreak your pet. Now, that's vitally important. It's very important. It's usually one of the first things, especially with a puppy, but even a grown dog that you've adopted or whatnot. You've got to get them house trained so that, well, I think you know why. So if you have a young puppy, it's recommended that you wait until he's at least 8 weeks old before you begin any formal training. And before you begin the formal training lessons with a dog of any age, here's some steps and keys to success that you're going to need to know about. Number one, be patient. Okay? Each dog is unique, and a dog can only learn at his own pace. Some dogs learn quickly, others take more time. Patience is a virtue when it comes to effective dog training. Okay, number two, be kind. This goes hand in hand with be patient. You can't lose your temper if your dog doesn't get it right away or appears to be ignoring you. Do not punish your dog for not learning quickly enough. He or she cannot help it. As a matter of fact, don't punish. Don't punish, train. And there is a difference. Okay, step number three, be flexible. If your dog is struggling to learn, be willing to change your training routine. The location may be too distracting, the time of day may be too close or too far from feeding time. The length of your training session may be too long, or it may be too short. Perhaps the training exercises need to be broken down into smaller, simpler steps. Remember this, again, each dog is unique. Be flexible and willing to do whatever you can do that'll help your dog succeed. Number four, be generous. Be generous with your rewards and with your time. Always reward your dog's correct responses generously. Don't be stingy with the treats. He's worked hard and deserves a generous reward. And commit ample time to your training lessons. We all know we're busy these days, but this is quality time for you and your dog. And the faster you train them properly, the more quality time you'll be able to have. Okay, moving on, here's a very important step that could make or break your training process right here. So let's cover that now. That is timing. Timing is critical during early training. You must give the reward immediately after your dog performs the correct action. This means within half a second, really. Your response to his correct action must be clear and it must be instant. If you pause, in amazement perhaps that he actually did something right, snap out of it and give him a treat immediately. If you don't, then you've blown it. You must train yourself to deliver instant gratification to your dog. Do this consistently, and then you'll be amazed at how quickly your dog learns. Here's another important tip about timing. Don't make your training lessons too long. Like humans, dogs can become bored by repetition. Bored students don't learn very well. So to keep the training sessions effective, don't make them outlast your dog's attention span. Of course, again, each dog is different. So you'll need to be alert and notice when their attention starts to wander. Perhaps try for a 10-minute session and see how that goes. Shorten it up if necessary. Don't lengthen it more than 15 minutes. Really, 15 minutes is the maximum. Perhaps repeating a short session 2 or 3 times a day would be even more effective. Actually, it definitely would be more effective than having one long training session. One other important aspect that we've got to cover right now, and that is you must be consistent. Consistency is the key in dog training. Regardless of whether you use your voice or a clicker or any other kind of device, the most effective way to train your dog is to use a combination of reinforcers that are consistent. Reinforcers are those things that your dog wants, desires. That's what you reinforce his behavior with. If you use your voice, choose a phrase, and use it exactly and consistently. Dogs are not people, we all know that, but sometimes we forget. Words are just noise to them. They have no idea that good girl and great job and way to go Molly or all these other phrases, what they mean. Pick your praise phrase and make sure you and others in your family use that exact phrase or word every single time. Then several times a day, say your praise word or phrase and immediately give your dog the primary reinforcer, perhaps the treat that you know he loves. Do about 5 repetitions, maybe 2 or 3 times a day for 2 days. You can also use your praise word or phrase when rubbing her belly, when she's eating dinner, or any other time you're sure she's enjoying something she loves. Within a few days, she'll learn to love the reinforcer and will be eager to hear you give her praise. Okay, this is what most dog owners fret about. This is what has most dog owners worried. This is usually the first battle dog owners have with their new dogs, and that is, how do you housebreak your dog? Now, this is very important, so let's go through a few of these steps real quickly. Again, successful housebreaking is really the most important element of a loving, lifelong relationship. If you don't teach your dog not to pee and poop in the house, he won't be your friend for very long. I think we all understand that. However, housebreaking a puppy or even an adult dog isn't complicated. All you have to do is prevent peeing and pooping in the house and reward peeing and pooping outside. While putting this simple concept into practice isn't difficult, it does require a great deal of diligence, dedication, and patience. But of course, the rewards are definitely worth the effort. Here's 5 quick facts that will guide your housebreaking training. Fact number 1. Adult dogs can be housebroken the same as puppies. If you adopt an adult dog, you may not have to worry about housebreaking it if he's already been properly trained. Dogs, really even the smartest ones especially, do not naturally know it's wrong to go potty indoors. They must be trained, and most adult dogs are. But you can't assume this is the case. If he was always kept outdoors, raised in a cage at a puppy mill, or improperly trained by a previous owner, you will need to start fresh and housebreak him using the same basic techniques as you would for a puppy. Adult dogs don't have to go as often as puppies, though, which will make the training much easier for you. Fact number 2. Puppies have limited bladder and bowel control. A puppy younger than 20 weeks old will need to go potty once every hour when awake. A very young puppy, perhaps under 12 weeks old, will need to go even more often, every 30 minutes or even more often. For an older puppy, a general rule for determining the number of hours he can go without going potty is to take his age in months and add 1. So a 4-month-old dog could hold it for about 5 hours. Small breeds can't hold it as long naturally. Large breeds can hold it a bit longer. Remember, this is a general rule, of course. Your puppy's control may vary. It may be better, it may be worse. When sleeping, of course, dogs can wait longer. But don't think a puppy who can hold it for 6 hours while sleeping can hold it that long while he's awake, because that's not true. Fact number 3 in housebreaking your dog. Dogs like to sleep in a clean area. This is a very good benefit, and it's a very good aid in your dog training. If given a choice, dogs will never sleep in an area that is soiled with pee or poop. In the wild, dogs such as wolves, coyotes, foxes, they sleep in a den and go outside to relieve themselves. And of course, their pups learn to do the same. Because dogs will try their best not to soil their sleeping area, your puppy is less likely to pee or poop in a small den. Confining him to that den whenever you can't watch him will guarantee he doesn't get a chance to begin the bad habit of going anywhere else in your house, which of course is a problem. Fact number 4. Dogs do best when kept to a routine schedule. Feeding your dog on a set schedule will help him go potty on a regular basis. If you let your dog eat and drink whenever he wants, you'll be less able to predict when he'll need to go out. Take him out on a regular schedule as well. So take him out on a regular schedule, feed him on a regular schedule. It'll make things much easier. Finally, fact number 5 in housebreaking your dog. Punishing a dog after he has had an accident in the house is pointless, and it may do more harm than good. Your dog will not understand that you are upset about something that happened in the past, even if it was just a minute or two ago. Remember what we were talking about earlier. You've got to reward your dog's behavior, whether it's good or bad behavior. You've got to reward that behavior immediately, within seconds. If you wait too long, he will think he's in trouble for what he's doing at the instant you discover the mess and go crazy, whether he's happily coming up to greet you or sitting quietly. Obviously, this is the wrong message to give your dog and will greatly confuse your dog and really slow down the dog training process.